My name is Okewa James.
How are you doing?
Doing well? Yeah, I'm a Kenyan.
A proud one?
Proud to be a Kenyan. 5. Because when they get money, they think they have gotten an harvest. While the other races, when they get money, they think they have gotten a seed. African, you give him 1 million, he'll take it and save it in the bank. But you give a Chinese 1 million, he'll go and plant it in the market, and money will be weeded. People will get employment. Finally, he'll harvest the money, he'll get more. But an African will put it in the bank, start taking slow by slow. After two years or 1 year, money is completed. It's like an harvest. The banks, they know when they give you money, they don't give you because you can get more money. The banks gives you money so that you can circulate them because they know the risks are many. Exactly. The poorest in Africa, Liberia. And Somalia and Liberia. We have a lot of Somalis in Kenya. When they are in Kenya, they behave as Kenyans do. Yes. But when you go back to their country, sees it is the atmosphere is not well. Yes. Even the business, even the transactions, even the business activities can't thrive. Wow. Hence, that country, you cannot say that it is economically stable. Yeah. Okay. African is a human being who has a black skin. Mostly you can find black Africans in other countries like Asia, America, Europe, but they are still Africans, even if they are called European Africans. Still, if you have a black skin, you are an African. It is because his thinking, his surroundings, his actions is the one which depicts him as a backward man. Because in Africa is where you find weird thinkings. Yeah, because as Africans, when the Europeans came in Africa, they told us that marrying one wife is the one which the Bible wants. But later, you find that these Europeans, they came telling us that marrying a man is okay. A woman marrying a woman is okay. So if Africans could use their own brains well, then they could improve. But now they use what they are told. But if they use what they are told, they integrate it with what they have, then they could be better. But most Africans, they use what they are told. Out. Because homosexuality is the sex from the same gender. If I marry you, will you have kids?
No.
So I want kids. The Africans race is not cursed, but they have cursed themselves.
How do you mean that Africans have cursed themselves?
Because in Africa we have resources more than the European countries, but we don't want to use them to be at the far end where the other races are. So how are we cursed? Yet we are endowed with a lot of resources than even those countries which are in Europe. How cursed are we? It is us who have sat on the resources, and we have not opened our minds to be where we could be. It is not the government which should be left with these matters. It is the community of the communities of Africans as a whole, because the government itself cannot start doing things which is not, even the government itself is a community, is an African. So the government is not liable for exploiting these things. Us as Africans ourselves, we have we build on our ideas, and we integrate with our resources, then we will be better. The government itself, it cannot do it. It starts from us as Africans. Yeah. The African Union, it is ineffective.
Really?
Yeah, it is ineffective. Because if at all African Union was to be like the countries like the NATO or other European unions or even other Asian unions, then we would be far better compared to them. We still depend on those other unions of races for us to execute our activities. If at all it was self-sufficient, it is when we could say that African Union is okay. but still we depend on other races from Europe, from Asia, for us to execute our activities. Somehow.
Like, you're also African, bro.
Yeah, I'm an African, but I'm also inferior because I found myself here. I'm thinking like an African. When I get money, I see it as an harvest. I don't see it as a seed. He's an African because he's black. He's an American by birth or by naturalization, but basically that was an African. Black American people in USA kindly think like when you're in Rome, think like the Romans think, and be as developers as the Americans are. Like I congratulate Obama, is even though he's an African, he has gone to the white ways. Let his ways come to Africa. Let him show us his ways so that we can excel as he has done. Exactly. And when they go to diaspora, they have to copy those ideas which are there. We have resources. They copy the ideas, they come and exploit them. Or not, when they have those skills, they go and do them in those countries. They should come and do it back home.